Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy August 20th to everyone. How funny it is that on August 20th, we reach week 20. I don't know how that is that odd, but whatever. It's odd to me. 20th week on the 20th of August. Whatever. I am here live with my esteemed colleague and partner in crime, all the way from Southside Boulevard. His name is Chris Walker. You know him, you love him in the 7th spot of your league.
Not everybody loves me.
No, but we all love you down in 7th. So
that's how I get people to love me.
Yeah.
I lose.
Yeah. Hang out down at the bottom, you know. Hey, a lot of things get loved when they're down at the bottom. I'll let you think about that one for a minute. So, real quick, I need to address something that on camera, two things are very noticeable for those of you that watch it. I have a scar or scab on my forehead, and that's because over the weekend, it was my dad and friend of the family's 60th and 66th birthday celebration, and I got a little tipsy, and I decided to take a little bit of a dive into the shallow end of the pool, and my head hit the bottom of the pool and got a little scrape at the top. So I just love beating myself up. And then another note, I'm in somewhat of a zoot suit. I'm wearing a tie and a long sleeve shirt. I drove all the way down to Orlando this morning, actually past Orlando into Lakeland, and drove all the way back after a brief polygraph examination with the Florida Highway Patrol. So that is why I am nice and neatly dressed. All right. So, looking all somewhat professional. I've loosened my tie and gotten rid of the top button. But anyways, moving on from this, I'll keep you all posted. I'm not expecting anything great, grand, or wonderful, and I'll continue my trek towards stardom at Walmart and see if I can't be the best employee that place has ever had and find the live better. Still looking for it. If you follow me on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, baseball news. Week 20 has come upon us. That means week 19 is done. Let's break down these matchups there, Mr. Walker. Which one do you want to go with first?
Let's talk about yours.
I love it. I love when you talk about it.
Remarkably competitive.
And
as the Roto standing fared out, Eric did a good job, but you were just better.
Yeah. I hate being better, you know? I hate it. Nope, I love it.
Don't you just get tired of winning?
You ever just feel thin? Man, my time is coming, and it'll be week 2 or 3 in the playoffs. I will say this, man, it does make an uncomfortable surrounding when you go to said competition's domicile and you have to sit there with them while baseball just kind of shits on his parade on a Sunday with Verlander giving up some home runs.
Hold on. Hold on. Set the scene for me. I want to know exactly how pissy his attitude was. I want details.
Well, all right, so we're watching a little bit of baseball. I think I left for something. I think I went to go get some food. Yeah, I went to go get dinner. I come back, and it's like the lamest Nature Channel show on. And I just kind of waited for him to express to me his discomfort and was like, I just switched it off of baseball because every week it's depressing more and more, and I'm not going to watch that shit no more. So I put it on the Nature Channel. I'm like, okay. And I couldn't have been more uninterested in what was on, but it's all right, man. The company is what I was there for. So, yeah, man. I feel like, I think Acuna did really good for me. We'll get into him, bring his name up again. I was not expecting to see Justin Turner's name. Yeah, he did all right. I mean, he basically carried my entire roster. Him and Paul Goldschmidt. And Jose Ramirez. But
Jose Ramirez, when is that bitch going to cool off? He must... Did you email him some steroids or something? That has to be it, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Was it Edwin Encarnacion, in trouble for... No, I'm thinking of the Mariners with Nelson Cruz and Robinson Cano. Yeah. All right. So, all right. It'll come out.
I realized I said email steroids.
Right. Yeah. Well, either way. Sorry for that. All right. Moving on. 6-4 was the final score. I will say, it worried me a little bit. Our score went back and forth. But luckily for me, Verlander did take a shit on him. Moving on. Mud Dogs. Dude, I pulled it up on Sunday. I saw Keith making a roaring comeback. Dude, he threw up some stats on you, brother.
Listen, Keith had the best performance he's had all year, and I still whipped that ass.
I don't know about no whooping no ass now. I mean, let's go ahead and say you only, he only won by 1 run, but you only won by 2 home runs. I mean, score-wise, sure, 7-3, but calm down. I don't want you blowing a gasket. You're all the way down there at 7th, so take it easy, okay? You beat the number 12 team in the league, all right? So, slow your roll, brother, okay? We didn't get to touch base on this last week, and I had brought it up, and it's been killing me the fact that I said something, but I didn't harp on it later on, but... How did you go about flipping your team? You totally pulled a Casey, okay? And your team is not one that I would want to face in the playoffs, especially with the pitching staff that you've got.
I didn't flip my whole team, okay? So I had a bunch of people on the DL. So for one thing, I got Strasburg while he was on the DL because Eric got tired of shit. And I threw him a little deal. I was like, listen, I can take the risk. You can't. Give me a strike. Like, all right. I did something similar with you, Darvish. Looks like that's actually not going to work out very well. I may have just given away Javier Baez for free. I did the same thing with Mike Moustakas. I gave away Mike Moustakas for Johnny Cueto that fucking got Tommy John like 3 days after that. So that's fantastic. But I made deals like this where I took a little risk. Like I got Carrasco from you when he was on a slump. Got John Lester from you when he was on a slump. I continually went after high-risk players in the hopes of turning a major profit. And some of it worked out and some of it fell flat. So there you go. Yeah. I don't know what else to tell you. I didn't flip my whole roster. I strategically went for a couple of batters that I thought could improve my guys, and I got as many high-risk pitchers as I could.
Well, it seems to be working out for you anyways. You're a little bit closer this week than you were last week to making that playoff roster spot, so we'll see if it works out for you. In all honesty, I hope it blows up in your face. Moving on to Ray and bullshit. Okay, so we're sitting there Sunday afternoon watching a little baseball, and Ray's like, see, I told you, this boy's going to come back. And I'm just like, Ray, just calm down, okay? Just chill. But now looking at it, he was pretty close. In some categories. She blew him away in striking.
Entire season. Because Reeder has been always just so close all season and never able to close the deal, except maybe like once, if I recall.
Right.
That's just the way it's been for him, man.
Yeah. I just want to point out a fun fact that Jacob deGrom and Mikolas used to be on my team, and of course, I never should have traded Jacob deGrom. He would have been the ace in the hole, and now he is going to just drill me to the end, I'm sure, in pitching stats. But blah, 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 blah. 7-3 was the score. Ray inches a little bit closer. I believe she's a whole game behind Jason now. And speaking of Jason, brother can only get 1 point.
He took a dump.
Yeah, took a big dump. Their score was really low up until, I guess, Sunday. Like, I guess Robbie just kicked it into high gear, but both of them looked like they only were going to hit like 3 home runs combined. And then I guess Robbie's team decided to kick it into gear.
Robbie did what he had to do, but you know what? I know for a fact now that Robbie's team is cooling down, and I'm playing them this week.
Oh, man.
Hey, I'm coming for you, Eric.
Uh-huh. I wonder who sets up the schedules and stuff.
Do you know who I played the last 2 weeks?
You played me, I know, the very last week.
So if I was setting up the schedule, I wouldn't fucking set it up that way.
Well, you thought I was going to be old news. Come on, man. You're like, he's got to stop being in the playoffs eventually, and you thought this was that year.
True. That is not true at all.
Uh-huh. Speaking of another matchup that is just, I'm so sorry for Josh and your family just not being able to partake in any type of exciting news right now in the playoffs. Josh sitting right there, getting that ass beat by Shane, 8-1. Shane needed and wanted this victory, and he got it.
And now he's within striking distance of the bye week, which, as we all know, is pretty damn crucial. It's like, instead of going through a gauntlet of 3 games, you only have to go through a gauntlet of 2. That's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
Increase your odds greatly.
Yeah. I didn't know he got Zach Greinke. Wonder how that went down. I must have missed that. Last but not least, the ever-popular Yada Your Mind versus Bill All Rise. Hold on 1 second because I clicked the wrong matchup, but 8-2. Is this any hope for Nick to make it into the playoffs? I think she's too far gone, right? What do you think?
I think she's too far gone, but here's the point that I would like to make. Bill is not too far gone. He has something to play for. He's definitely in it to win it, and Nick still handled him. First of all, kudos to Nick for persevering. She is no Josh. Let's put it that way. She took care of business, and I thank her for that.
Let me ask you, how big of a blow to switching gears now, just to now baseball? We've covered all the matchups. Kudos to Nick. Sorry, Bill. Better luck this week. But how crucial is it to the Yankees that Judge is still saying that he still has pain in his wrist? That team has kind of fallen off of the map here as of late, even though Andujar still hitting pretty good. They still have Stanton, but it looks like they might not even make the postseason, and if they do, they may not even win because they don't have a very good pitching staff. Your thoughts?
Well, I agree with your last statement, but the first statement, if you think that they're not even going to make the playoffs, the question I have for you is, who is in contention for that wild card that's going to overtake the Yankees?
All right, so I'm glad you asked that. I'm glad you asked that, sir. Well, Oakland right now is on a tear, even though they lost last night. I will say this. I mean, I'm with you. I don't really see Seattle getting into there. They just got Cano back, but how well is he going to perform? But other than that, okay, they'll make it. But I think in that wild card game, Oakland may have the steam, and in one game, would you put your money on the Yankees or would you put your money on the A's?
If the Yankees are pitching Luis Severino, the Yankees have a decent shot, but most likely they'll be pitching in somebody else's stadium, and that's a bigger deal than you think. It's going to be a huge environment, playoff atmosphere, all that stuff. All that's going to be in the opponent's favor and not the Yankees' favor. So I like their chances because they actually have an 8. But even if they manage to get through the wild card, Then they got shit for pitching.
Yeah. I think it's pretty crazy now looking at it how, like, marginalized the American League is. I mean, it's like Boston, the Indians, and really, or Boston and Houston, but everyone else, dude, the next team that is behind Seattle for that wild card position is Tampa Bay. They're 11 games back. It's like there is nobody that's going to be chasing after. It literally is going to come down to those three teams unless somebody catches a wild hair up their ass. I doubt it's going to be the Angels, but Tampa Bay, really? I mean, good golly. The National League is where the attention is at. That's for sure.
Right.
I'm excited for what's going to be coming down the rest of the way for the National League, man. Atlanta's barely hanging on. And that brings me to my next point. Speaking of Atlanta. All right, so last couple of nights, I was afforded the opportunity to watch evening baseball. And I will tell you that I have gotten just so mad with what Atlanta has in their bullpen. It blows my mind that they were doing so well against the Rockies 3 out of those 4 games. Their starting pitchers did their fucking jobs. Fultonevich, even Anibal Sanchez's old ass went out there last night and pitched. And you have the lead going into the freaking bottom or top of the 9th inning. And you can't get 3 outs with your bullpen. You do not, in my opinion, you do not deserve the right to make it into the postseason. If you do not have all the pieces, you don't deserve it. And it pisses me off that they got all this talent that they're talking about. They talking about these pitchers, Sirocco, and none of them can stay healthy. But when you've got Brad Brock, of all the freaking relief pitchers that were available in the league, and you went out there and grabbed the one that's got over a 4 ERA, and you're like, he's gonna help us. No, the fuck he is not. And clearly that is showing. What was it? The only game, I think it was Friday night, it was like a given that it was going to be a blowout. But they had the game won Thursday, and then the motherfucker comes in, and what was it? 3-2. They needed 2. They had 2 outs. You needed 1 freaking out. And they fucking turned the game over and gave it to them. And then the same damn thing happened Saturday night. And then last night, zeros across the board all the way through until the 9th inning. 3 outs, people. Come on. Snicker, what the fuck are you doing? But again,
it's not really his fault.
I know, but bottom line is, dude, let Fultonevich finish the damn game or something. I don't know, man, but they got to figure out what's going on in Atlanta. Speaking of Atlanta, okay, yeah, sorry.
Because first of all, you're totally on point. You've been hammering this opinion all year. They should have got some bullpen arm worth a damn, and you're totally right. The reason why they didn't is because they're saying to themselves, well, we got this farm system that it'll be like a multiplying factor to our future 3 to 5 years down the road. Do we want to cut our prime from 5 years to 3 years to get a couple of bullpen arms this year? And they said, no, we'll try to get a couple bullpen arms on the cheap, because bullpen arms, trading for bullpen arms is like, we are definitely winning now because you don't know what kind of value you're going to have in these bullpen arms 2 years down the road. But it seems like people are valuing them a little more because they definitely have an impact on this year. Braves looked at it and was like, we're not willing to sacrifice the future, period. End of story. They probably have the same answer for pitching Folowitz longer. They're like, fuck it. We're not sacrificing the future just to get a couple of innings out. Here's the problem, though. They're not consistent. Remember that game when Sean Newcomb threw like 140 fucking pitches and a no-hitter did or something like that? Well, you notice he hasn't been the same since. I got a name for you. Johan Santana. Johan Santana was a fucking ace. And then he pitched like 150 pitches in a game, and he was never the same since. And they might have done exactly the same thing to Sean Newcomb. So the Braves are in a catch-22. I don't know what I would do. I would probably be like, I'd probably do the same thing, try to get my Brad Brocks on the cheap. But if you're going to do that, don't do what you just did to Sean Newcomb. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, man, I speak so passionately because I'm a Braves fan. This is exciting to see. But bottom line is, the old saying is, strike while the iron is hot. I don't know how they've been able to do it with some of these guys in their lineup, the Twins with the Dawson or Swanson and Culberson. They look exactly alike. They're identical twins. They just don't know it. But, you got Freddie Freeman. Markakis is having the season he's having. I don't believe Duvall was the answer, but, they've got pretty decent offense. Their pitching staff can be good. If I was to say an ace right now, it would be Fultonevich. Tehran is hit or miss. Newcomb's kind of whatever. And I can't believe Anibal Sanchez has done what he's done. But, again, in my opinion, man, at this point, just try to mix it up or something. Bring in some of those young guys and maybe do what Tampa's doing. And throw them in the beginning and then throw your starters out there in the middle or something. I don't fucking know.
They've got too much pride in the pitching arms, the starting pitching arms they've accumulated so far to do what Tampa's doing. Tampa's doing what it's doing because they have no other choice. They don't have the kind of ace arms that Atlanta has coming up. And you just said Sean Newcomb was the only fucking reason he's is the Braves fucking ruined him like a Mark Pryor or a Johan Santana. He was a lefty with a good heater, a two-seamer, and he was just good. You don't ruin pitchers like that. That's what pisses me off.
Gosh, get into it. I'm glad to see your passion, man. All right, so speaking of which, I have to bring it up. I know we've already probably heard it ad nauseum just, through the week. If you watch any type of Sports Center, or read the paper. All right. There's some rules out there that are unspeakable. They're unspoken, unwritten rules. Nobody really talks about them, but yet they're there. They're floating around. Sometimes they dick slap you in the face, leaving you unaware of where you are. But this bullshit that went down with Atlanta and Miami and that pitcher, Urena, that was pretty fucked up, man. It's pretty fucked up.
And you know what else? Urena didn't bat when he was... So he got ejected, right?
Right.
Here's what... Okay, I understand why he got ejected, right? And he's going to get suspended. It's going to be a long while before Urena actually bats against the Braves, but you know what should happen. If he's holding the bat in his hands, you fire one right at his head.
Yeah.
And you don't hit the other batters. You don't hit fucking... I don't know, who's the best batter? Starlin Castro, or I don't give a shit.
They're rookie.
You don't hit them. I know you have to if you have no other choice, but go after the guy that did it. This is why I don't like the DH, is because you don't have that option. The pitcher does have to hold the bat in his hand and face what he's given.
Well, I agree with you, but then it starts going like tick for tat. And if I would be a hypocrite if I sit here and I say that these unwritten rules should be either written down so somebody fucking understands what should happen and when it should happen, but the reasoning behind what he hit him for was asinine. It's fucking bullshit. Look here. You're a major league pitcher. If you are upset by what a batter is doing to you, man the fuck up and strike his ass out. That's what you get paid to do, bitch. If you can't do it, then guess what? You are a lesser man. That means that young kid has got your number and he's going to fucking drop bombs on your stadium and in your house and all in your face. And guess what you need to do? Go back to the drawing board and figure out, get your game plan better and come back the next time. And if not, guess what? He's going to punch that fucking number again. But don't be a fucking bitch and be like, I'm going to hit him with a 90s. You know, it was the fastest pitch that he had pitched all season long. The first fastest pitch of all season. And then the son of a bitch goes out there, which I was kind of happy to see, and pitches a complete game against the Nationals. Like dude, you know you're a good pitcher. You're a fucking good pitcher. The Nationals lineup can tear into your ass. So why not just go out there and be like, okay, motherfucker, I'm going to strike your ass out. Nobody else in this staff can strike your ass out, but I'm going to. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit you.
I know your butt hurt about Acuna getting hurt. I would you too if I was holding on to him. But if you're going to hit Acuna, hit him in the ass cheek. You can make that base. You can make it rain anywhere you want on around the plate, and you can't hit an ass cheek. You gotta aim a little higher and hit him in the elbow, or if it didn't hit him in the elbow, it hit him in the rib or some shit. How about if you're gonna go after a guy, make a statement without fucking ruining a career. How about that?
How about that? All right.
Because if it doesn't go right and you don't hit him in the ass cheek, and you hit him in the ear hole, and he's done for life. If I'm a fan, I'm thinking about doing a Robert De Niro and coming over there and killing your ass.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, maybe not that serious.
Yeah, whoa.
But some fans might be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got soccer players that fuck up in the World Cup and get killed the week after that.
Jesus. I haven't heard that. Jesus. Golly.
You didn't know about that?
No.
That was Colombia, man. Escobar.
Damn. That's some serious shit. It's fucking sport, man. Calm down.
I think my point is, if you're going to play this macho, well, I'm going to hit you because you're showboating thing, better do it right.
Right. All right. Well, real quick, man, let me blaze through these last 7 days and last 30s for pitchers and batters, and you can weigh in on any of them if you want to. Just tell me to stop. But I got to get to this story that happened to me today on my way back. I know you're going to love it, so that's going to be kind of my joke of the day because I believe it's going to make people laugh. You ready? I'm going to go through this real quick.
Good.
Last 7 days, we speaking on him. He got hit in the arm. Acuna. And then Mr. Justin Turner, Rosario, Castellanos, and Bautista. I just read earlier that Castellanos and Acuna got respective players of the week in their respective leagues. So that's pretty cool. I know old Reader's excited about that. Last 30 days. It makes me feel good to just see Odor still at the top of this list in the last 30 days because y'all were bitching like, oh, you picked him up for waiver wires and then you traded him. Yeah, fuck y'all. Y'all be wishing y'all made that trade with me, but guess what? No, we don't want to trade for a waiver wire pickup. Suck a dick. Anyways, Acuna, Davis, as in Chris Davis, the black Chris Davis, not the shitty white Chris Davis, Jose Ramirez, and J.D. Martinez. In the last 7 days for your pitchers, Chasen or Chacon or whatever the hell. How is he pitching this well? I don't know. Jacob deGrom, Leclerc, I don't know. Kershaw and Fultonevich. In your last 30 days, Max Scherzer, Carlos Carrasco, fuck you, Walker, Wheeler, Bowler, and deGrom. Anything else you want to add to that, sir?
Nah.
No? All right. So I'm going to fade off into this. All right. So on my way back from Orlando today, there is a newly constructed overpass that is being built right at the 95 I-4 connection. And as you're going over an overpass in Daytona, there apparently is an airport near there. And I was unaware of this. And as I'm going on 95 over the overpass, there is a plane that is fixing to land. And this airport is extremely close to the highway. I was unaware. I was listening to the sports talk radio on my way home. This plane is coming up on my left right over the bridge. I mean, I'm on the fucking highway and I was unaware that this plane was even there. And I look over and scream at the top of my lungs and curled up in a ball in the driver's seat. Believing that this plane was going to hit me. I shit you not. And it brought me back to the time that those vultures were eating that dead carcass on the side of the road, and you were riding with me, and that vulture spread its wings out in the front of the vehicle and gave us a look back like, oh shit!
It was like this vulture's wingspan could have been comparable to a small airplane. And we saw all of it, and you did not have this reaction that you had with the airplane. You were like staring at its balls or something. And I had in mid-conversation, I'm enjoying the conversation, and I go, oh my gosh,
curled up in the fetal position. I thought that was so funny, man. It was like this, they had the engine on silent or something. Right when they were over me, whoosh, I was like, ah! Oh, man. This concludes our...
Control of the vehicle during this?
Oh, man, yeah. Thank God. Oh, man.
How did you do it?
I don't know, man. I don't remember. All I know is that I still got a few more years left in me. I saw my life flash before my eyes.
In the car?
What's that?
Did you have a change of underwear in the car?
Yeah, I always carry. I wear 2 pairs of underwear, always, man. Stay prepared. Man, you never know.
That might have went through both, you know.
Well, yeah. Yeah. That's when you just free ball it, you know. But, all right, man, we are right there at it. 32 minutes and 10 seconds and counting. The music has played its way out. Thank you for joining me on this show. Week 20, man. 3 more weeks. Totally together. Oh, my goodness. Crunch time.
Yep.
All right, man. Love you, dude. Talk to you later.
Love you, man.
Later
you
on.
Too, all right?
All right, man.